You're listening to the Game Tenants Podcast.
What's up, and welcome to the Game Tenants Podcast, the failed adventures of two gamers and their quest for Gamecast stardom.
AKA worthlessly lazy, but so game crazy.
This is episode 103, and I am Church of the Game Grinder, and as always, joined by my excellent co-host, Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming.
I'm feeling pretty excellent today. That's a pretty astute observation you made, sir. And how are you this fine evening?
I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. For a little behind the scenes fun for our listeners is we just did about half the podcast, and I realized I forgot to hit record.
So that was a pre-scripted question that I already knew the answer to. Because you've already told me. But I'm tired, so I kind of forgot what you even said. I did listen.
I'm not even sure what I said either.
So who knows what we're even saying now?
Yeah,
we are amped. We are in our prime. We've already got it locked down. So let's keep this tank of awesome rolling over the skulls of our enemies and talk about some cool stuff.
Cool. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. What do we got to talk about this time?
The gods are among us.
Holy.
We've got a really old birthday for a really old friend, and they gave us gifts.
Ooh.
So that's pretty fucking tight. We got some bad news about some other friends.
Ooh.
Turns out one of our friends was not a friend at all. He's a total dick. We'll get into that again. When we got new life for another old friend. And we'll find out more about that pretty soon. But it's spooky season. Let's get spooked. And some spooky games later.
Yeah, and
creepy.
We'll just kick this one right off with an old school creepy game in our retro game highlight. I mean,
feeling it.
The last couple weeks, we've been covering, already getting the spooky season going. Last time I talked about Monster Party on the NES.
Well, we did. And I was glad you did, because I like to hear about Monster Party. And you know, it's only spooky season for fucking posers. Because if you're really into the spooky shit, October does not contain your spooky love, your horror love.
It can't.
Your jack-o'-lanterns, your skeletons, your zombie torsos, your vats of blood. Just stuff I see when I look around this room that I'm in right now. None of this is decorations. This is my furniture. I don't know why I have vats of blood, but just don't call the police. I'm getting help. I love the spooky shit. You know what I love? That's a little bit older. The Thing. Great movie.
The recent one, right?
Oh yeah, the most recent one. There's older ones. Crap.
No, the new one sucks.
Just kidding. It's backwards day.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna record a podcast, but we're not actually gonna record it. Backwards day.
True.
Now we're going to talk shit about good movies and praise shit ones.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Snapped out of it. The new one's garbage. And it's not based on that. It's based on the classic 80s one.
Not the 1950s.
The John Carpenter one.
Yeah.
The 50s one is also great.
It is classic.
The 80s one. It's pretty good when you can make a remake and it's also a classic. Never has that happened. I can't think of one other time that has happened.
I can, but we won't.
Well, Scarface. Scarface is another one.
Actually, I'm not a fan of Scarface. I was gonna say Dawn of the Dead.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, actually, Dawn of the Dead. Another
Texas
one.
Chainsaw
Good point.
Massacre. I thought the remake. I
actually like the remake better than the old one.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, I was actually. I don't think I've ever been kind of disappointed in a, widely well-regarded movie until I actually spent way too much when it came out on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a hard to find DVD, and I kind of spent like $50 on it or $60, and I did not feel I got that money's worth. So, yeah, good call. Yeah. It's late. I didn't have a lot of examples. I quit at one, but we're here to talk about games, not just movies. The Thing is as classic of a game as the John Carpenter movie is a classic of cinema. It's got that. I feel it's random. I have not played it multiple times, but I feel like it's got an element of randomness that adds to the terror, never knowing who's on your side, who's really them, and who is actually the thing. So if you like it, it's on PS2 and original Xbox. Now, it's available now. You can go out and get it.
Nice.
You may have trouble finding it.
Yeah. And I'd mentioned retreading previous conversation, but it's a valid point worth making that I have never played the video game version. I've always heard good things, but I've never actually saw video, at least that I can't recall. So I was looking up some screenshots and I was like, hey, this looks pretty sweet. Looks did you already say it's a survival horror game?
Yes, it is.
It is a survival horror game, and that's my jam.
It's very much in line with what you would expect from a game of The Thing. So good. And even though you told me this earlier, because this is our second take, I'm still knocked back that you have not tried this game.
Remember the PlayStation?
I know. Just like every time,
PlayStation 2 was heavy into PC gaming, so I missed a lot on the PlayStation 2.
Okay, I won't let you away with that. But I know you always make it right. Whenever I make you feel bad for not playing a game, you immediately order that game and hop right to it. So I believe in you. You can do it. There's a few days left of October. I'm sure you can fit it in and beat it by the end of the month.
Right.
Someone's got to be beating games this month.
Oh.
And it might as well be you.
I did beat a game this month.
Yeah. I say games with a Z.
I beat a game twice this month.
Do it again.
We'll get to that later, though.
We will. All right. So that's it. Buy it. Play it. And then watch the movie.
And
it's a good pairing. Like
the original too. Watch the original movie. Classic.
Watch all of them.
Except
and then go, holy shit, that one was bad. And then it'll make you appreciate the others even more.
Oh yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. You know what else I appreciate even more and can appreciate even more? Doom Eternal.
Hi.
They're putting out DLC expansions.
What?
The first story expansion for Doom Eternal is out now. The gods are among us. The ancient gods. The best kind. No one likes modern gods. They suck ass. Old gods are the cool gods. Except for God. Pretty boring. But like Zeus and shit, Odin, fucking best gods. Maybe they're those gods. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. And as much as I'm hotly anticipating it, I'm going to have to hotly anticipate it even more until the second expansion's out so I can play through both. Because I like to get all the meat off the bone at once. Rip it all, tear it all off. Yum, yum. Get it in my belly.
Yeah, I'm the same way. We don't. I don't like to drip feed DLC. So if it's not there when I play the game, which I love it when I get to a game late and all the DLC is available, so I can just knock it all out.
Yeah, that's like when you like start watching a show and it's on its last season. You're like, holy shit, there's 11 seasons, and it's just so awesome to plow through it. And then you get to the last season, and it's still going, and you got to wait like a week or 2 weeks or whatever their schedule is. And you're like, I don't even remember what happened in the last episode. I'm used to just back to backing like 5 in a row.
That's a great analogy that I don't agree with, because I don't do that. I don't binge. I don't like binging. I like savoring shows. When you watch them as they get released, normally it's like, oh man, you got that anticipation.
Bitch, I said when you discover something though.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't say, oh, that show looks good, I'll wait 9 seasons to watch it. No, like when you're like, whoa, where's this show been all my life? I didn't think this would be something I'm into. Now I love it. Thinking of stuff like when I discovered Parks and Recreation, I was like, oh, I thought this was just like some really lame sitcom. Then I was like, I actually love this shit. And then I watched all of it, and it was on its last season. And then I had to get drip fed every other week and it's not on, I don't have TV, so I had to download an episode every week after I could like torrent all the other seasons together.
Analogy had a personal stake.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that to a couple shows. Several shows. And when you're, especially in the age of streaming, where you're like, what the hell is this? And they release the whole season at once. Like The Boys. Watch the whole season in like a couple of days. Mwah.
Fantastic. But yeah, so I am excited for the Ancient Gods when they release the second part.
Yeah, I want to see what else is up. I want to see what else is getting exploded. Yeah, you don't want to be drip fed in a game like Doom, where it's all about the splatters, the rivers of gore. I want to be drenched in that DLC. So, holding out for a hero. Speaking of a hero, one of our oldest friends, one of our oldest heroes, is so damn old, like 60 years old. Sega is 60, and they give us the gifts, the gift that keeps on giving. Sometimes they give us stuff that it's not such a gift. It's like, hey, can you throw that away from me? Let's like that. And at 60 years old, sometimes you're going to get handed a boogery, handkerchief. Can you get rid of that? Sometimes they're going to give you fucking gold because they got such a big library of things to draw from. And they gave us some stuff that was canceled, cut off for whatever reason. They give us 3 days to 4 days maybe on a couple of them.
Maybe 2 days.
And yeah. What do we got? What do they do? What have they done?
Yeah, so Sega randomly out of nowhere with no announcement decided to release 4 games. First one being Armor of Heroes, which was available from October 15th to the 19th. That's like some action tank game.
Yeah, it's like a strategy tank battler.
Then we got Endless Zone from the 16th to the 19th, which was it's like Fantasy Zone, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Then how I actually found out about this, thanks to Jason.
Yeah. What the fuck? First of all, you're my PC guy, and you ain't got my back. Even if I generally go, meh, maybe if it comes on console, hopefully I'll check it out. But I had to be like, hey, you getting this? Because I realized the nature of it, and you had mentioned it to me. And I was like, hey, did you get this shit? You're like, I hadn't heard of that. And I was like, bitch, what have you been doing?
Yeah. And that is Streets of Kamurocho.
Ooh, it's like Streets of Rage, Yakuza, which I think we've talked about a few times, would be a pretty kick-ass idea.
Yeah.
So I broke my rule, which isn't, it's like a Pirate of the Caribbean rule. It's more of a guideline than a rule, where I just go, I don't really fucks with PC that much, even though I've got perfectly good gaming PC to my right at this very moment. But then I seen this shit, and I was like, revoke my policies, and I snatched that shit up. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
But they also kept on giving.
Yeah, and the last game that they made available for only 2 days, Golden Axed.
I see what they did there. It was a canceled prototype. They axed it, but then we axed for it back, and they gave it to us
randomly. So, like I said, some of these games were only available for 4 days. Golden Axe was only available for 2 days on Steam. So if you didn't like download it or add it to your library, like they're gone. Like the store pages are gone, games are gone. But Golden Axe is basically the best description I could come with is like the kind of like that the art style of like Killer Instinct, where it's like that the 3D, but it's not like polygons, but it's Golden Axe.
Okay, could be cool.
Very like like Killer Instinct Diablo style Golden Axe. I guess I don't know how to explain it.
Can't be as bad as Beast Rider, so we'll see.
We will.
Did you ever play Beast Rider?
I didn't, but I've seen things on it.
I've heard things and stuff.
Yeah,
not looking good.
Yep. Mostly whatever is not good things about.
Somehow I have that on Xbox 360 and PS3, and I don't know why. I think I just like bought large amounts from certain people, and they just be in there. What if it's the straw that broke the camel's back? To like, I'm selling my 360 games. This Beast Rider game is bullshit. So that might have been part of me getting a sweet deal.
Maybe.
So maybe I can thank that game for something.
Maybe. Yeah. So there's that. As is, they have no plans to release these games anywhere else. They're, like I said, they're all basically canceled prototypes or non-release prototypes. So like they're finished games. So that's that. Speaking of that's that, Lab Zero is pretty much a dead studio at this point, as I believe we previously talked about it. And so Lab Zero's staff quit because their lead, Mike Z, is apparently a total douchebag, horrible to his staff, sexual harassment, all sorts of stuff. So all the staff quit, including Mariel Cartwright. She's mostly well known for her animation, Skullgirls, Indivisible, Shantae Hefchini Hero, Alex Ahad. He was one of the artists, designers. The whole staff quit outright. So then 505 Games, who is the publisher for Indivisible, who is still the game is out. A bunch of content's out, but there's still kickstarting content that was coming down the pipeline as basically guest characters. Shantae, I believe Shovel Knight. There's a character from Skullgirls and some other games that were going to be added characters to Indivisible as, just bonus characters, no story or anything involved. But 505 Games announced that development for Indivisible has been canceled under the circumstances. So that content will not be getting released. And as a backer, it's kind of a bummer. But like I said, considering the circumstances, I'm not upset. I think they made the right decision. I'm not mad at the development team. I'm not mad at 505 Games. I'm mad at Mike Z being a piece of crap.
So, to summarize, thanks, Sega, for free games.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing, Mike Z, you piece of shit.
Yeah, but some positive news to come out of this. Also, the Autumn Games I believe they're Autumn Games. They're the ones that are actually handling Skullgirls. So Skullgirls is like basically free of Lab Zero. So that game's still getting updates. But some great news came out of it. Is basically Lab Zero's team who quit have started a new studio called Future Club, and I am super excited to see what they have coming down the pipeline.
They should have just been called Fuck Mike Z Studios.
It could be.
That would have been the best.
That's fair.
Best. Cast all the shade in that direction.
I'm not wouldn't argue with them about that, but
a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
You know what? Some people also call not buying a Turbo Graphics or a Turbo Duo back in the day when they were affordable, a missed opportunity.
Were they ever affordable?
But worry no more. Yes, they were actually. But worry no more. The Analogue Duo has been announced. What the hell's that, Mr. Church?
The Analogue Duo from Analogue, mostly well known for like the Analogue NT. Basically, they remake consoles using actual hardware, not like the original hardware, but it's like replicated. It's FPGA hardware, so it's no emulation. So it actually runs your Wii cards and your discs. And this is going to be available for $200, which is an awesome price because I believe the Turbo Duo on average goes for like $400 on the low end. And this will have, built with new tech, basically, HDMI, all that fun stuff. But
anything you would want.
Yeah, but from my understanding, just like their previous releases, they pretty much sell out instantly and they don't restock. So it's going to be an awesome product that nobody's going to be able to get. And then it's going to be turned around and scalped for twice the price of the actual original hardware.
Wait. I think you said Analogue makes this.
Yes.
That sounds like a Nintendo thing to do. I didn't know it was the Nintendo Duo. What the fuck, man? Stock your shit. Don't you want to make money?
Yeah.
I'm thinking they make more and then they just have a secret eBay store. That's always my theory. When they don't make enough of something, like they're afraid of making money.
Oh, man, I actually just saw, now that you mentioned that.
About the graphics card?
No, there's... Oh. Yeah. No, that's what... Yeah, that's what it was. That apparently... There's some manufacturers of the new 3000 series of NVIDIA cards that the because NVIDIA makes the board and the chips, and then they make the chips, and then basically another company like Asus, EVGA, MSI, like they then make the graphics card, and that's how they get the branding. That's why it's like MSI graphics card or EVGA graphics card. And apparently these companies are not making all their stock available and just scalping their own stuff. Why skip the middle,
guys?
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, Jesus Christ! It's just
Jesus would have no part in this. He might. I don't know. He's kind of a cunt. But yeah,
true.
True bullshit.
Yeah, absolute.
Next level bullshit. That's a 2020 kind of thing to do.
Supply and demand, man. It's being a douchebag is what it is.
Absolutely.
It's shady. It's manipulating the market. It's taking advantage of the market. And it's bullshit.
Generally being a dick. Yeah. Who's doing this? Mike Z? That guy's a cunt, I heard.
He sure is.
Someone told me, hey, it was you. I was paying attention. Yeah. Speaking of creeps, sometimes games might give us the creeps. Not me. I love that shit. But I love me some creepy ass shit.
Yeah.
Some spooky shit.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of retread a previous topic. I mean, I think in some way, shape, or form we kind of cover this every year at this time when everybody else is kind of enjoying the horror stuff. When and
we say welcome to every day, bitch.
Yeah, this is year long. I mean, horror
lifelong,
is contained to 1 month.
Afterlife long.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, there's tons of horror games out there, great horror games, but not all of those horror games are scary at all. Resident Evil, I absolutely love the Resident Evil series. I got a Resident Evil Shrine in my collection. Those games aren't scary. Love them. Fantastic horror games. So I
startling at times, like I don't want to say jump scare. They're above that, but you know what I mean.
I'm so. I previously made the reference to a South Park episode of everybody getting so startled. Oh, I'm so startled. They weren't scared, actually. They're just
startled. Yep.
So startled. That's when
I love Randy.
the giant guinea pigs invaded.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so I figured we'd chat about some games that actually have some good creeps in them. Like, it might not be the whole game. Maybe it's just a moment or two, but I think they should get a little extra nod for actually like hitting the horror element, getting into the skin a little bit. And of course, you already talked about The Thing, which
the one and only. Yeah. What do you got as a rebuttal to The Thing?
Again, again, in our conversation, not for anybody listening, because we had just got to here when I realized I forgot to start recording. But I'm going with kind of some more, more generic answers for this one, just because it's worth being said again and kind of giving them the extra nod. But I'm gonna go all the way back to one of the first games that, from what I recall, like the first game that actually like had me creeped out a little bit, and that is Silent Hill, original Silent Hill.
So good.
And along with that, I'd say 2 and 3. But the first Silent Hill, like, really, I think kind of, at least in my experience, was the first game that really kind of truly bring out those horror elements. And for me, initially when you go into the school, like one of the first areas in the game, you can't see any distance in front of you because the draw distances were terrible. There's these little like creepy like demon children with knives that come running out of the darkness, and it was like,
holy shit,
what the holy crap. And it was everything. It was the atmosphere, it was the scenery, it was the creatures, just a perfect combination. And the Silent Hill games like really nailed that, at least for their first like few releases.
And the first game, especially, one of the creepiest parts was born from hardware limitations. Like the fog was because they wanted stuff to load faster, and it ended up being like a staple of the series, of this town that's just filled with fog or smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
And that you never know what's 10 feet away from you. Might be 10 feet away from some 12-foot tall motherfucker about to slice you in half.
Yeah, right. And then they only just the debate about 2. For me, I kind of go back and forth between 2 and 3 being my favorite, but I always go back to 2, just in the strength of its writing and the themes, the symbolism. Like, that takes a lot of like thoughtful, careful planning. Not saying that that's not present in 1 or in 3 or other Silent Hill games, but 2 really nails it and really just amps up the twisted nature of Silent Hill and the mental state of James, and how it brings these horrors into reality, or at least what seems like reality.
Yeah, that game will always be a special one for me, because that was my first PS2 game, actually.
Such a good way to start off the PlayStation 2.
Absolutely. I owned it 6 to 8 months before I even owned a PS2. I was out of town, staying at my uncle's house. And my uncle had a roommate who had a PS2. And the trip was more for like, my parents have plans with my uncle and they're going to do stuff. So I'm mainly going to be just like sitting around the house bored. But before they went and did their stuff, they let me go do a bit of shopping. And I went to a Best Buy. And what did I see? Silent Hill 2 is pretty cheap. All right, I need that. Get it back to the house. Discover my uncle's roommate doesn't even have a fucking memory card. What a total scrub. So I had to play that game and leave his shit on as much as I could. And it really packed the dread on, because if you die and you haven't saved at all, because you can't, you're really fucked. You feel like you're actually dying. Like, oh, I've been playing this for 5 hours. Oh shit, are you serious? I just died. That is true horror. I think there's no truer way to play a horror game than to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't saving. I'm not gonna talk a big game like I did that shit on purpose because I thought I was such a boss, but I'm just saying, you should try it. If you're finding your game isn't scary enough, you know, I'm the best at Bloodborne or Dark Souls, play that shit without saving at all. Then show me how much of a boss you are. So I am with you there, and I will actually go on record as saying, as far as PS1 goes, definitely, I prefer Silent Hill as a horror game over the Resident Evil games. That game is one of my favorite PS1 games. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's an argument point or a fighting point, but I ain't gonna fight about it.
Nothing to fight about. I respect that opinion. I mean, Resident Evil 2 was one of my top 3, 4.
Oh yeah. As I prefaced before, I'm not saying I don't like the Resident Evil games. They're amazing, but for me, my tippy top of PS1 horror, I think, would be Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm. But before moving on from Silent Hill, I also want to shout out Silent Hill 3. Not enough people give this game credit. I think it is as good as Silent Hill 2. I absolutely love it. That's why I say I struggle sometimes. I really am like, man, Silent Hill 3 is really, I just love that game so much. But it's like, I just gotta remember, like, Silent Hill 2, like what it did. Like, I just gotta keep that in my mind because it did some amazing things with its writing and psychology and stuff. But 3 is so good.
And I really got to give Shattered Memory a go. I've been kind of holding out. I own it on the Wii, but I really want it for the PS2.
I want to play that one.
It's the only one I don't own on the PS2. I own every other one, and I've always wanted to play this one. Yeah, this one sounds like the most cerebral of the Silent Hill games. It studies you and learns from you to better fucking destroy you. And that sounds like something that more horror games should strive to do.
Yeah.
So I might just cave and play the Wii version for now and just say whatever. But yeah, that's probably one of my most wanted PS2 games. But hook it up, friend with several copies for no reason. I love you.
What?
The friends that have extra copies that they want to give me, I love them.
Oh, yes.
I love you too, brother.
I was gonna say it's not me.
I'm just dropping hints. My birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks, man. I love my friends that buy me copies of Shattered Memories.
Right. So, what else you got?
There's a lot, especially in the PS2 era. There's some really good ones, and one I don't see talked about enough is like Cold Fear. It's a cool one. Have you ever played Cold Fear?
I have not. It's on my list of games to get. I don't believe I got it yet. I think I had the chance and I didn't get it. I'm pretty sure I didn't get it, but I want it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty unique one. It takes place on a boat for the most part, so you got to it adds to when you're aiming, the boat's swaying, so you got to contend with that, as well as enemies coming towards you that you're trying to shoot in the face, which is sometimes already hard enough.
Oh, I do got it.
You have. I think I gave you a copy of it.
You must have gave me the copy of it.
I was just gonna say I don't want to just assume I give you copies of things, but I was like, I thought I had an extra of it, and I was like, and I thought I gave it to you, but maybe I gave it to Chris.
You must have given it to me.
That was my only outlet. Wow, how do you do? That's pretty cool. So I think I'm about due for a copy of fucking Shattered Memories or whatever. But what is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one I think definitely is worth a look if you've exhausted. It's not that expensive either. So that's another cool thing. It's not a Kuon or Haunting Ground or a Rule of Rose that you're gonna have to pay over $200 for. I don't even keep up with the prices on that shit. I know it's well over 200. I know, but over $200 for every one of those. So, especially COVID price, they're probably like $600 now. Yeah, but it's an affordable one. It's not the greatest, but it's got some cool, unique ideas.
Holy crap, man!
What?
I just looked up Haunting Ground.
Huh?
Good lord, these people are insane. Currently $335.
Yeah, sounds about right. I said COVID.
I got it.
It was like 200 before COVID, I think.
I got it for like 30 or 40 bucks.
Where is it?
On my shelf, half cocked sideways. Because
I'll give you 40.
No.
Canadian, which is about 30 bucks. You're not making anything, but you're not losing anything. Yeah. What else you got?
What I got is a shock at current game prices.
That's the true horror. Trying to buy.
Now I'm going
classic games.
PC video game price charting. So some people aren't fans of video game price charting, but Rule of Rose currently is listed at $556. That is insane. People are crazy. Kuon, $705.
Kuon then, because I ain't paying that shit.
That's a game I've always wanted, like even before it was like stupid expensive, and I just didn't know about it. That sucks. Sucks for me. Anyways,
what's your next pick?
Next pick, with a stipulation: don't play this game on anything other than hard. It is what the developers intended, even though.
I know where this is going.
I hope so, and that's Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
That game is intense because I don't even know
space. What the fuck are you thinking? I think you're getting mixed up with Friday the 13th, the game.
What?
Well, Friday the 13th, their campers and they're intense and cabins. Aliens in space. I know it's a lot of people make the mistake. It's not your fault.
Intense.
What's really scary here is my dad jokes.
When
you have to explain a joke, it's obviously very good.
Yes. No, just I've talked about this game many times before. The definitive Aliens experience there is, in my opinion, no better Alien franchise game than Alien Isolation.
I agree with you.
And it is, for me, again, top 5 horror games of all time. I think it's fantastic. It's so good. Play it on hard though, and that alien will hunt you like an alien should. Ain't no joke.
Ain't no colonial marines aliens in this one.
Just oh my god, the game is so it's so good. It's just so good. The story's good, the action's good, game looks fantastic. And that alien is the first time in all alien franchise video games that it's actually like something to be scared of.
And the story is better than most of the movies.
I can agree with that. Absolutely, I will agree with that.
I didn't say all.
Right. I like that. I'd think for that for a second.
The first two are untouchable.
Absolutely. Aliens is one in my top 5 movies of all time.
Yeah.
Love it.
Damn, I thought we were just doing a regular list. You're doing like multiple top 5s, man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Aliens.
I'm gonna watch that shit tonight while I'm working in the garage.
There you go.
I got a garage copy.
Definitely watch Special Edition or Director's Cut. Special Edition, the Director's Cut.
That's what my garage copy is. I got 2 copies of it for some reason, but I'm not willing to get rid of a. You don't just get rid of a copy. If you got 3 copies, you got 3 copies now, even if they're fucking identical. I have them all on Blu-ray. I have them all on like a box set DVDs, and then I just have another copy of it for some reason. And I'm like, perfect. Now I don't have to go in the house to get it. I got a garage copy.
Yeah.
So if I get another one, I'll have a bathroom copy.
Yeah. Then 2 other games. Well, and I don't know, maybe this is just me, but maybe it's because most people played this on baby mode. Because I don't know. Not hating any of my friends. Love y'all. Y'all great. But if you played that goddamn Doom 3 BFG edition, you played the baby version of Doom 3. And the original version of Doom 3, I thought, again, in space, technically, but also intense.
Space tense.
And why I say that is because the BFG edition, whatever the version that made it on the 360, or was it 360 or was it OG? I think it's OG, wasn't it?
360.
Whatever. They made it so your flashlight's always out, and like the entire thing
for Harambe.
And the entire, like, I mean, besides what they were doing with the story and kind of the how they're approaching horror in this game, where, you know, the original Doom games were classic, like horror themed shooters, just blast the shit out of everything. Well, this one, they slowed it way down, cranked up that atmosphere. Lighting, at the time, it was like the best game tech available when id Software, like when they pushed the boundaries. That was really like the id engine, or whatever the hell it was called. It was just so amazing. And the game, you have to make a choice. You can either hold your gun. I mean, you're gonna a lot of, you know, rifles and stuff. You need to use 2 hands. It's the Doom Marine, you know. It's not the Slayer, you know. This is a guy. This is a guy, tough guy, really tough guy. It's a Doom Marine. He's no joke.
Doom guy.
But you know, you want to see what's going on? You need to pull out your flashlight.
Just fire your weapon. It makes light, like I already said.
That's true, but even removing that point, just the atmosphere of the game, I thought was just, they did such a good job. Voices and fucking demonic runes just popping up all over the place, and the zombie dudes, and that's a great game. And a lot of people, I don't know many people have played that, who actually have played the game more than a few minutes, like actually finish the game. Play halfway the game. I don't know. Not enough people have played Doom 3.
Bitches.
Played good Doom 3, not baby Doom 3. I know a lot of people didn't like that. They're like, oh, it's not, you know, they changed Doom. Doom was just run around and shoot shit in the face. Not knocking that. Like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, love them. Fantastic. Doom 3, I still think Doom 3 is... I should replay it. It's been a long time, but I still feel like Doom 3 is my favorite.
I guess I'm bringing back your birthday present. I got you Doom 3 BFG Edition.
I think you already gave it to me. I'm sure.
I don't know.
No, I don't
remember anymore.
I don't think I have BFG Edition. I could check, but I'm not going to.
Check out any tables that have uneven legs. You probably have it there.
Oh, yeah. And then I want to shout out some people might consider this a horror game. I don't think it's necessarily a horror game. It does have some elements at times, but in one moment in particular, and I think I talked about this on the podcast before, original Half-Life, the goddamn fish monster. Holy crap. I hate that thing. I hate going in the water in that game because I know there's a goddamn fish monster and just comes at you instantly, kills your shit. I don't like it. Love that game. One of my favorite games of all time. A lot of people will be like, oh yeah, Ravenholm and Half-Life 2. Awesome segment. Absolutely love Ravenholm. Ain't got shit on that goddamn fish.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Fatal Frame series.
Yeah.
Another unique take on the genre.
Yeah, I hear they're fantastic. Have them. I know I have the first two.
Cuckoo.
I really need to play those games. And I hear the Wii U one was really good too.
Yeah, it's only digital only in North America. If you want a physical copy, you got to import a Japanese copy.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But I mean,
yeah.
are we used to this by now? Especially with how little of like exclusives and stuff to remember the Wii U by that hasn't already been moved to the Switch. I mean, if it means a digital or a physical version of this game, I'm all for porting that to the Switch. Port something that we didn't get yet.
Yeah, and it blows my mind because people are like, "Oh, Fatal Frame, it's a perfect game for the Wii U." Isn't it even better for the Switch because the Switch doesn't, it's like not as clunky as the Wii U controller, the gamepad?
I don't think it was clunky at all.
I don't think
there's only a few games that.
But the Switch, everyone's like, "Oh, play a Switch on the go. It's a game on the go." Oh,
yeah. Get on the go with some Fatal Frame, babe.
Yeah, you walk around with the camera, man. It's like, come on, man. Nintendo, what are you doing?
What in the fuck? All right. Since we're already talking about space a bunch, might as well talk about Dead Space.
Hell yeah, dude. My favorite horror game.
So goods.
Fucking love Dead Space.
We need more Dead Space in our lives. We need to finish
bullshit Dead Space like EA's.
Yeah,
I did.
The last one was DEA Space. The EA was capitalized and everything else was lowercase in Dead Space in that one.
Slightly, I didn't hate.
It's one of those games. It's like Resident Evil 5, where it's not actually a bad game. It's just a bad Dead Space game.
Yes.
Whereas Resident Evil 5, I would say I like that game. I don't like it as a Resident Evil game.
Yes.
But I like it as a cool co-op game.
Yeah. Dead Space, man. Oh my god, so good. And Dead Space 2?
His name's Isaac, not Dead Space, man. Come on, man.
Dead Space.
Just like Master Chief's not Halo.
It is it's Halo. Halo guy.
Yeah.
It's Halo.
And Metroid. Oh,
Metroid.
just the best space alien fighters, those guys.
Yeah, Metroid for the win, dude.
Yeah. So
what if Zelda was a girl?
Yeah. Yeah, like there's so many good games, especially from that generation.
Yeah.
Got any others, or should we just move on to some other stuff?
I think we'll move on. I mean, we could talk horror games every episode.
Yeah.
There's so much.
We want to be topical for people.
Yeah.
But I don't care. We can talk about splatting creatures anytime.
Yeah.
And we're not bitching out. Speaking of bitch, who looks like a bitch? What do you got?
Premium content. Game Tenants.
Yeah. I asked last episode, or community question. Who's a bitch? In a game, who's just this guy's such a bitch. Natalia from GoldenEye, what a bitch. But it's not a gender term. There's way more dude bitches in games, I think, than women bitches. What?
Just watch your fire.
Yeah. Watch. It's not my duty to watch my fire or anyone else's fire. It's don't run around in the middle of the firefight, bitch.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I mean, last time I talked about Titus.
What a bitch.
And I mean, he's the ultimate Titus of Final Fantasy X, man. I fucking hate him.
This guy's a bitch.
His face, his clothes, his hair,
Whack.
his
Whack.
voice.
Whack. The
Hey.
way he stands, whack. The way he doesn't even like to look you in the eye, whack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hate him. Absolutely. The worst. But
Total bitch. What do you got this time?
I'm pretty
He's
happy.
a bitch.
I'm pretty happy because we got some community comments.
Hell yeah.
So thank you guys very much. So first off, we got Black Metal Gamer, Hope from FF13, Biznatch.
All right. What a bitch.
I'm not going to argue that one. I haven't played 13. I will never play 13. I have no interest.
13. I played 13. Yeah.
And it
What a
seems like
bitch.
there's a few of those characters that could just looks like a bitch. You know,
Kind of crying a lot in those games.
it's not a gender thing here.
Bitch. As I said. It's a gender fluid term.
Just reminding our
Anybody can be a total bitch.
yeah.
Not someone nagging. It's not someone nagging you. Someone
It's
just
fuck
someone just
fucking face.
someone annoys you. Just like, what a bitch. Or this guy who's supposed to be like this tough ass boss and you defeat him in 15 seconds. Man, what a bitch. Just there's so many different
Yes.
uses for the word bitch. And that's what I meant.
Yes.
He looks like a bitch.
And then so this one I'm actually making up because I forgot to include his comment for last episode. So I'm going to cover his last response and this response because I feel bad.
Man, you're looking like a bitch right now.
Right? Friends who shared his thoughts on Instagram. So thank you very much. And for anybody else, you don't have to just leave a comment on YouTube. You know, as long as it's clear that you're commenting to the community question, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, wherever, just let us know, and I will do my best to include it. So,
At a later date.
well, yes and no. Yes.
Much delay.
So, anyways, previous episode, community question was underrated music in video games, and Wreck-It Rens said Dot Hack specifically, Castle Dungeon theme and Dual City Brag Epona theme. And I've always heard really good things about the Dot Hack series.
Sweet.
Never played them.
All right.
And this week,
I got most of them.
oh yeah, not surprised
What?
that you have most of them.
Oh yeah.
You got a pretty beefy PS2 collection there.
Well, I've got the quadrilogy, but I don't have the .gu. But I got the .gu collection on PS4, so I think that's all of them. Unless there's like there's probably like PSP or Vita ones I don't know about that I don't have. But as far as I know, I think that's all of them. There's probably some other side shoot thing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. So for this question, Wreck-It Rens said, and I'll accept this. He would say the Ocarina of Time's water temple is a bitch.
absolutely a bitch. People, I don't know. People always talk shit about that water temple being just either tough or confusing.
I just hated it. I didn't like it.
Oh, man.
I just played it a few years ago for the first time, and I didn't.
Didn't you have people telling you what to do even?
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
My buddy was sitting at the strategy guide telling me what to do, and I still hated it because it's tedious, it's monotonous, it's boring.
It's a bitch.
Bitch. Absolutely. So yeah, so thank you for your community questions. I hope more listeners get involved because we love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Make this a discussion.
Get involved.
So I am going to, as per usual, build off of something that we talked about this episode. So I want to know, as far as horror games go, what are some other games that you find like that have some legit creepy moments, like stuff that really gets you under your skin? That a lot of other horror games, like I said, there's great horror games. Resident Evil, great games, not scary. What are some scary games? that we didn't talk about, or even shout out even if we talked about it. Let us know.
Reinforce our love of something. You can even be like, yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
There's so many more we could have talked about.
Absolutely.
But we could just do. We could do the retro game highlight and the horror highlight of the episode, for that matter.
Sure could.
But probably won't because we're lazy. But
so
maybe.
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts.
Cool.
So everybody wants to know what you've been up to.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about it. What have you been up to?
Just catching up on the latest Polykill episode, and somebody was mysteriously missing, and they are concerned for your well-being.
Yeah, it is.
They're like, where's Carfslud?
Like, not the Polykiller, not even on the list.
Not even on the list.
That's what I do. I go big or don't even bother.
Hey, shit happens. I didn't beat a bunch of games.
Important
I
shit.
played a relatively short game, to be honest.
mean, I don't play games to just to be the Polykiller. I don't go, hey, what's some short games I can knock out
Right.
for the next episode? But consequently, I like video games a lot, and I play video games a lot, and it happens pretty often that the kind of games I like might not be that long.
Yeah.
Especially the classic games. My favorite classic games are all like beat it in an hour, 2 hours, or not very long, but I still enjoy them. And that's what I like about classic games, that you can just get a full experience in a relatively short amount of time. Not every game has to be an open world sandbox 150-hour game.
Right. I prefer
to be amazing
like that.
Apparently that's the way we're going. Like, your game's not cool or impressive unless like I have to explore miles and miles of it, even if it's pretty drab. And it's just, it's so giant and sprawling. Wow. I'm becoming almost jaded to that these games where like I like to explore.
I like
make it interesting for me, keep it fresh. And some games are just kind of it's bordering on tedium now, where you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah. Ooh, crazy big world you made. And then you're like, I'm doing the same stuff everywhere I go, though. Switch it up.
But yeah, sometimes doing other things. You've been still crunching away at the game room, working on some house stuff.
The game room,
game garage.
My previous game room is now a fully finished tattoo and piercing studio. And that means my games, my action figures, and my other junk had to be relocated. So I have been heavily relocating for about a month. So I haven't played a game since I started the relocation, because I am obsessed with getting this room dialed the fuck in. And then I
get back to gaming.
We'll come roaring back. I know if I start playing something, I'll go, wow, let's push that in the corner. Yeah, that's fine. And if I don't do it all now, I'm going to let shit fall by the wayside. And as it's going right now, it's the most baller, badass game room I've ever been in Canada. And 49 of the 50 states. Not including Minnesota.
Yes.
So I'm in love with it. It's coming around. I'm in the very end stages. Basically, all the big stuff's moved. All the big stuff's set up. A bunch of the small stuff's set up. Games are where they need to be. They just need to be alphabetized again, which is going to be a huge pain in my ass, but worth it. And then it's just a couple of things in boxes and bins that I need to get set up. But setting shit up sometimes is like those open world sandbox games. Like, god damn, I've been at this for hours and I didn't really even do much. But it looks good. So, Yeah, and I got a new job, and I've got like 9 pounds less hair on my head, which sucks ass.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it either.
No.
It hurts.
Someone's just gonna see a picture and be like, "What the fuck happened to that guy?" Regrets.
That sack of shit. No.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I don't like looking in the mirror right now. So not only am I not playing games, so that makes me not want to look in the mirror. But I've had long hair for the last 19 years, and I suddenly don't. And it was for a new job. It was a sacrifice for the family. But is family really worth it?
I was going to say, maybe you should sacrifice the family.
Now when I headbang, it just goes flip, 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 flip. Instead of whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, that guy's into it. I can tell.
Yeah.
Now, what's that guy doing? Is some bangs in his eye? Yeah, that's bullshit. But that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to comment further. I just thought I'd say something before someone else said some shit.
Hmm?
So yeah, it's been a long month, but we're on the horizon of some really good things.
Oh, I didn't talk about what I was up to.
Yeah, I asked you because I said I didn't want to talk about it. You made me talk about it, so I talked about it.
I'm going to talk about what I've been up to.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't want to talk about it. What have you been up to? And then you just directed it back at me. So I gave you the opportunity. What have you been up to, Sarah?
Not much, actually. Not much. Not as much gaming as usual. I think last time I mentioned I was going to be starting Parasite Eve as Game of the Month for the Cartridge Club for October. And I did that. And I beat it. And then I played through EX mode. And I finally beat the Chrysler Building and got the alternate ending or whatever ending that is, if that's even an ending. I'm glad I did it. Not sure if it was worth it because it's about 10 hours to get through the Chrysler Building. And it's one long giant maze, 70 floors. Well, I'd say it's actually probably what, because it's not the first floor. So 69 floors of a maze. And then a boss that's really tough. But I couldn't do it 22 years ago when I originally played Parasite Eve because I got it at launch.
But now you can afford a Game Shark. Right on, buddy.
Just kind of knew what I was getting myself into this time, especially when it came to upgrading weapons, because Parasite Eve has a pretty interesting like weapon system upgrade mechanic. So I kind of knew what I was doing going into it. So I was able to just basically kind of keep the stats going the whole time and ended up thinking I had made this pretty sweet gun. Tried beating that EX mode end boss. Couldn't do it. Tried a bunch of times. Couldn't do it. Because eventually she starts healing and then she heals for 1,000 hit points and then 2,000 hit points and then 3. It's like, you think it'd be the opposite. But no, they're like, no, if you can't do this in a few minutes, screw you. So then I looked.
What that boss sounds like a bitch.
True. But then some people were like, hey, try the machine gun. And usually you don't want to use machine gun because it doesn't do any damage, basically. But it fires really fast. And apparently that's all I needed to do. I switched over all my stats to a machine gun, wasted her. It's like, oh, okay. I guess I've been playing this game wrong the whole time. But
self-imposed hard mode.
But yeah, I'm happy to say that I finally beat the Chrysler Building, Parasite Eve. That is no small feat, and that's basically all I've played.
Cool.
Yeah. So now, look at some upcoming games in the next couple weeks. There's some stuff coming out before the crazy barrage that is November.
Limited Run isn't helping any.
Yeah.
Dicks. Limited Run's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
They like to release some stuff and then release a bunch of cool shit all at once.
Yeah, I wish that
seems to be their whole thing. They like to do that.
Space things out a little bit better.
I mean, I think one a week is pretty good. You don't need to put out like 3-4 games. Like it seems like every so often they're putting more and more out.
Yeah,
Like
it's too much.
yeah,
And I gotta start making calls. That's why I wasn't able to get the original Doom helmet that they did, which is still available. Funny enough,
they came out. They came out at a really.
It's finally sold out.
No, they came out at a really, really bad time.
Yeah,
They came about 2 weeks earlier. I would have hopped all over that.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. But
anyways, yeah, I just lost my place. So yeah, there's a few things coming out. I'm not sure. I don't think I mentioned it last time. For some reason, I feel like we talked about Torchlight 3. Torchlight,
yeah, we did.
Torchlight 3 is coming out. Ghost Runner. I haven't really seen much on this game. Is this actually coming out? I got the list I have listed says Ghost Runner is coming out.
Okay.
In October. I'm just double checking. It's another place to confirm the release date on this. Oh yeah, October 27th. Looks like a pretty interesting game. It was one of the games from E3 that we talked about.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like a cool looking ninja game. I don't really know much about it.
Well, damn, we're just talking out our ass then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it did look cool. We did see a bit at E3 though.
Yeah. So there's that. Then Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 4. Oh, another one. It's like 3 just came out.
Yeah, it did pretty much.
Yeah.
I have it on pre-order, so I guess I'll be getting that. And it just kind of pisses me off because this one comes with a steelbook, just like the remaster of 1 and 2 came with a steelbook. But the only way to get a steelbook of 3 was to buy the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Not just be an early adopter.
Jerks.
Bunch of bullshit.
Bullshit. Then we also got Watchdogs Legion. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know about that one. I want to play Watch Dogs 2 because I heard it was good. Like a lot better than the first one, even though I enjoyed the first one. It was kind of mediocre, but I still had a overall positive experience with it. I heard 2 was fantastic, and now we got another one, and it looks like it could be cool. I don't know.
I haven't really seen much on it besides what I saw at E3 when I was there.
Yeah, same.
And even then, it's just like, I'm lukewarm on it. I don't really.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one where I'm like, oh man, I better hurry and play through 1 and 2 before that comes out. It's kind of just like maybe I'll see it. Maybe it'll be in my dollar deals that
I think
get at Walmart sometimes.
I think Legion is like more, you don't have to play the first 2 games. Like I think it's kind of like, so I think it's a different location. It's like in Europe.
It can be. And it doesn't hype me up anymore though.
Yeah. One game I am hyped for, even though seems like everyone's kind of just like written the series off now, is Little Hope, the next Dark Pictures anthology game, follow up to Man of Medan. These are the same folks that made Until Dawn, which is again Until Dawn, absolutely fantastic horror game, one of the best in the genre. Especially these very like cinematic, like choice based games. I really enjoyed Man of Medan. Not as good as I thought it was going to be, but I still enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to Little Hope. Got it on pre-order.
Yeah, me too.
Heck yes.
Yeah, too much stuff. I got to remember. I got those Final Fantasy figures and the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition coming out. So I gotta keep that in mind. But the new job will definitely help out with that. So there's that.
Anything else standing out in the next couple weeks for you? I know there's also the Amnesia Rebirth, which I know some people are pretty hyped about.
No, I got that new G.I. Joe game on pre-order. Well, I think it's out now, but my copy is getting here Friday. And there's the, I believe we talked about it before, the Transformers. Can't remember what it's even called. Transformers
Battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's like, it's not the style of Transformers that I really like, but it's a strategy game. So I think that could be really cool with Transformers. So I'm looking at possibly picking that up soon too. I mean, it's Transformers, so naturally I was going to.
Yeah, so it's like Transformers
XCOM.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So it looks really cool. Like I said, it's not my favorite style. It's basically styled after the I think it's called Cyberverse animated series, which is more for kids, which kind of sucks. I mean, you got War for Cybertron trilogy like out right now. You could have made it look like that very easily, and it could also have taken place on Cybertron, which I think would be extra awesome because much like the games War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, those are like the best Transformers games ever. So it would have been cool, but as long as the game plays fine, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. And more Transformers is only ever a good thing to me, unless it's robots in disguise. That show can suck my whole ass. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay.
So
cool.
It's not the worst of animation, but it's it's a little dumbed down for my taste.
Yeah.
A little basic, but it's I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Right on. Cool. So, as per usual, I would like to just kind of cover what the Cartridge Club's up to. For anybody who's not familiar with the Cartridge Club, it's essentially a book club, monthly game of the month club. There is a Discord, there is a forum, there is Facebook accounts, and there's also a Patreon if you have any interest in supporting the Cartridge Club. You don't have to do much to be involved. Just listen to the podcast, monthly podcast, play along with the games. You don't have to play along with all the games, but it's a great way to, possibly check out some games, revisit some games, join in on some discussions. There's a lot of chatter on Twitter using the Cartridge Club hashtag. So that is a fantastic way if you really want to try to get involved with more members. That is how you'd want to do that. But for October, like I mentioned, Cartridge Club is playing the PlayStation 1 classic Parasite Eve. And that is a great game. Really glad I replayed that. And then for November, the Cartridge Club will be playing Banjo-Kazooie, which I have never played, and I don't know how I can play along because I don't have the game on the 64. I think it's on something else too.
On 360, it's on the retro or the rare replay.
Yeah.
If you put it in there, it gives you the game for free, basically. It just downloads a whole bunch of games. If it's a digital game, you plug that game and it like installs a shit ton of just digital games. It's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. I played it back in the day. Solid game. I'd put it.
I hear a lot of great things about it. A lot of people debate like that or like Donkey Kong Country.
I'd definitely pick Banjo-Kazooie over Donkey Kong 64, but I wouldn't put it above Mario 64.
Oh yeah, that's
my
Donkey Kong 64.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, cool. And then the Quick Save Club, which is the sister podcast to the Cartridge Club, which is a PC Game of the Month club, and they are playing Torchlight 2. Speaking of Torchlight, and they do a game for 2 months. So for October, November, they are playing Torchlight 2. And check them out if that sounds like it's anything of interest. So then, as we kind of wrap things up here, you're going to be playing some games in the next couple weeks, we hope.
Absolutely. Probably by next week.
Yeah, you got any games planned? What are you going to be playing?
Streets of Camarucho.
Nice.
Maybe I'll try and cram in Parasite Eve before the end of the month. I got Star Wars Squadrons finally for the PS4.
Ooh.
It was at Walmart the whole time. It was just buried in the back when I went to look for it. But that's the day that I went to look for the game, and I ended up buying, like, I think that day and the day after, between that day and the day after, I ended up buying like 38 games. So walked in for one, walked out with 38.
Yeah.
And then found out, it was back there. It was just buried. No one really dug around looking for it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I worked here. People tend to just do that shit. I was like, oh, it's kind of weird how the Xbox version's out and the Xbox version of Crash Bandicoot 4 is out. PS4 version of both of those is nowhere to be seen. So finally got that. I'm looking forward to playing that in VR. I always want to play more VR. So when I do that, I always end up like going, oh, well, it's on my face. I'm going to play like 3 or 4 games. So hopefully I can keep that going.
Nice.
It sounds like a pretty decent 6 to 8 hour campaign. So looking forward to it. Yeah. What about you?
Nice. So I will be starting 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim next, the new Vanillaware game. I don't really know how long it is. Can't imagine it's that long, so I might finish that. And then since I got them and they're relatively new and probably pretty short, I figured, hey, why not? I'll also check out a couple of those Sega 60th anniversary games, Streets of Camarocho, and maybe Golden Axe. Let's see what's up with those. Past that, not really sure. I should really, like you said, I should also really play some VR. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, I got a bunch of games waiting at Cross at my border box. I really want to just go. COVID, hanging on, being a fuckface.
Yeah, right.
Let me get my shit. I've got shit for my new game room waiting over there. I'm accumulating games pretty quickly. I've actually caved and started using Amazon.ca so I can just get shit sent to my house instead. But even then, I'm very sparingly using it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Even my family member that was snatching me stuff up hasn't been going across very much. So it's been a while. So I'm sure even though I was kind of calming down with that stuff, that it's accumulated. Just probably just a stupid amount that I don't even realize is over there.
Yeah.
So
right on.
Here's to completing the game room and just getting just ridiculous with games again.
Yes.
Cool. I'm preparing to roar back and take back the title. I'm just kidding. It's not even a goal, but it's going to happen because I'm looking at a stack of games that I've sorely been wanting to play.
Nice. All right. Well, as we're wrapping things up here, I will let everybody know how they can get a hold of us if they would like to get a hold of us, and I hope you do.
Of course, why would they not?
So the podcast is available via YouTube, SoundCloud, podcast apps, Apple Podcasts. Apparently it's on iHeartRadio. So just look up the Game Tenants Podcast on however you like to listen to podcasts, and you will be able to find us there. If not,
yeah. Say, hey, what the hell, man?
Seems like we're pretty much on everything except maybe like not Spotify, because I don't know what that takes. I don't think we're cool enough for Spotify. But anyways, if you want to get a hold of
me, they're not cool enough for us. Maybe we're holding out for that Joe Rogan money.
Yeah, that's exactly.
They're like, come on, please, Game Tenants for Life. Where's that Joe Rogan money? And they're like, we're gonna have to save up, but you guys are worth it. So pretty soon we'll be there.
Yeah. So then if you want to get a hold of me, you can look me up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as The Game Grinder. And Jason is available on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Corpse Flood Gaming.
Fucking got it, buddy.
Yeah.
So it was good to catch up with you twice.
Yes.
Good. An extended amount of hangout time.
Absolutely. And then, as always, to everybody else, thank you very much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Peace out.